Welcome back, YouTube. So last time we did spleen, I wanted to do a cow spleen, and I forgot to put the wrong thing out of the freezer. So here we have a cow spleen. If you look at it, it is quite thin and very long. Absolutely looks like a bit of a phallic symbol for sure. If I hold it up, you can definitely see how long it is, but it's quite thin now in comparison, at least to how long it is. It has usually, and you can see it here, so you can see the inside, it's got that really, really rich red color again because of all the iron. And it has a thing here that we don't want to pull out. If I pull this out, it continues all the way through, and I'm going to damage the interior. So I'm just going to leave this, and at the end, I'll cut that off. But you'll also see that there's a lot of, or 2 layers of skin here. And so I started pulling one off a little bit more, and I'm just going to do this right in front of you. So you can pull off all of this fat layer, and hopefully it won't break the skin, the inner skin, out at all. You can see all of this coming off. So you could leave it on when you cook it, of course, but I'm just going to take this off so that it's nice and easy. You can see it just comes right off, right? So that skin is not a problem to remove. It just peels right off. You could blanch it and help do this, but I find that it's fine not to. You don't need to blanch it. You just need to kind of pull it off and just use a little bit of muscle in there, and you'll get all of this off. So here's my plan. I'm going to do my best to, oh, you can see it was cut here a little bit. Right, so a little bit of the spleen was cut there. I'm going to do my best to try and remove this outer layer, and it can be a bit tricky. But once we get it going, usually it just, like the other side, right? Once you get it in the right place, it usually just starts to peel. Right, there we go. And that's just going to peel right off now. Okay, so for step 1, I suppose, peel off any extra skin that you have on the outside. And it's a bit of a workout here, but look at that, it just comes right off. And, you know, just like the other one, so I eat this on the sheep spleen because it's comparatively thin. But this is, and you can see just how thick it is, right? That's pretty thick. Not really very flavorful, so you're probably going to want to remove this from your spleen. Now, once you do that, you'll see it still has a second layer. Yeah, look at that come off. Beautiful. It still has a second layer of skin that is, as you can see just right here where it got cut, you can see it still has a second layer of skin in there. I'm going to leave that on and cook it. If you don't like it, you can actually just kind of slice it off at the end. So there's nothing wrong with cooking it on if you wish. I mean, that inner layer, you can't remove it. So I guess you're going to want to cook it on either way. But I mean, in terms of eating it, there's nothing wrong with eating it. If you want, you could also take it off. So once I've done this now, I'm going to cook this the same way I cooked the sheep spleen. So I put the sheep spleen in the oven. Now, because this is so big and I don't want to cook it unevenly, I'm going to cook it, you know, just like this. So I'm going to throw this in a pan in the oven. I'm going to cook it on 350. I'm going to start with probably 20 minutes, and I'll check it. I'll do a quick check just to make sure we're there. And as you can see, I'm having some problems getting some of this second skin off. So I'll probably end up just leaving it on and cooking it if I can't get it off. And then when I'm done cooking, I can always just kind of fillet it off or cut it off with a knife. All right, so interesting organ, definitely funny looking. All right, this looks really weird. But as I said, don't try and pull this out. If you want, you can cut it, but don't try and yank it out. You'll pull all the insides out, and it won't sit as firmly. Okay, so here is a cow spleen. Oh, and just to show you as well, if we have a cow, the spleen runs along. If this is the head of the cow and the back and the sides, the spleen runs along the side of the cow like this, along the side of the organs. So it runs up and down. Which is probably why it's so thin. It has to fit in that little area there. Okay, so that's it for now. I'm going to cook this in the oven, 350 degrees for 20 minutes. Then I'll check it. When it's all cooked, though, I'll show it to you, and we'll take a look at the inside, and then we'll decide what we want to do with it. All right, so it's been in the oven on 350 for 20 minutes, and you can see now it's much, much smaller than it was before. A lot of the liquid, unfortunately, has come out because we had that one puncture. But 20 minutes looks like it's going to be just plenty. Let's do one quick cut into it, and we'll take a look at it. So, how does it look? It looks, there we go. Looks like I can cook it a little longer. That looks pretty good though. I think I'm going to leave it like this. Well, you know what? No, I'm going to throw it in for another 5 minutes. Another 5 or 10 minutes. So we'll cook it again, and we'll come back in 5 or 10 minutes. Welcome back to YouTube. So I put the spleen back in the oven for another, actually about 7 minutes. And now you can see, I let it cool down too, but now you can see that it's a little pink, but much less red compared to before. So just like the sheep spleen, I find this too strong a taste if I don't cook it a little bit more, unfortunately. So I'm going to cut it into a few pieces here, essentially the size of sheep spleen. So there's going to be one piece there, and here will be another one. And I'll cut this one into two. And just before, I'll eat one of these right now for dinner. That looks delicious, nice and pink. Now this outer layer you may find too tough, right? Even though we took off most of the fat on the outside. And while I'm not going to normally do this anymore, when I first started, I used to fillet off. I'll just show you that you can do that, although it's not the easiest. But you can fillet off that skin if you want to, and just have the meat. So if you find the skin too strong, just go ahead and fillet it off. But you lose a little bit because it is definitely stuck in there. You can't, it doesn't easily come off, right? So you're going to lose a bit of spleen. If you have a dog, you can feed it to them. If not, though, you are going to be wasting a bit. So like I say, in general, I'm just going to leave it on. I'm just going to eat that now. So actually, yeah, there's my piece for tonight. And I'm going to have this tonight with bison tongue, which I have in right now. I'm going to take it out in a second, and we'll be good to go. So there you go. This is cow spleen. And one last thing, I think, actually, if we can find it. I don't even know if I can find it. There was an entrance way to the cord that I said not to yank out. And there's the cord there. So you can see the cord. This is hard. And you can see that I actually could pull it out right now. Just as it is, it will come right out. So if you really don't like that cord, but it's, you know, it's a little chewy. But other than that, I don't even think you'll mind it if you try it. But if you want, you can take it out. So that's it. Cow spleen. Very rare. This is a rare treat to find. I haven't had cow spleen in almost 2 years, just because I haven't been able to get a hold of it. So rare thing to see cow spleen. Anyway, thank you, YouTube. Till next time.